Okay, Dawn, that's a tough act to follow. Thank you, Dawn, for that wonderful tribute to Val. I know he is truly here with us in spirit. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Len Valentino, and I'm proud to be the president and CEO of the National Hemophilia Foundation. Isn't it amazing to be back in person at BDC? It's great to see friends, both old and hopefully new friends. I'm grateful to everyone who has come together to learn, to bond, and importantly, to grow. I'd like to thank this year's host chapters, Texas Central Bleeding Disorders and the Lone Star Bleeding Disorders Foundation. We're all appreciative of the friendly Texas hospitality. Please also take a moment to thank our sponsors and donors like the Kopenietz family, whose generosity made it possible for many families here to attend BDC via travel grants. Wow, I can't believe that I've been here for 2 years, 2.5 years since I joined NHF. Since then, much progress has been made. Many thanks to this amazing community, members, advocates like all of you. We've been able to accomplish much. As we prepared to enter the organization's 75th year, the past few years have been impressive with accomplishments along the organization's overall long timeline. The passage and implementation of the Hemophilia Skilled Nursing Facility Access Act, which now provides access to skilled nursing and rehabilitation facilities for people with bleeding disorders, huge accomplishment. The publication of diagnostic and treatment guidelines for von Willebrand disease. The State of the Science Research Summit, from which a national research blueprint will be developed to close gaps in care that you all have identified. I'd also like to go back to something Dawn said. Dawn mentioned the My Life, Our Future program that Val spearheaded. That was critically important. We've now seen publications, the first 3 publications from that project in the last 2.5 years. So that's a wonderful accomplishment. I'd also like to recognize the 50th anniversary of the Judith Graham Poole Research Awards, which have funded some of the most influential and important research over the last 5 decades. There are many more accomplishments, too many to share here tonight, but our work is far from over. NHF's mission goes beyond that of local communities. In preparing for this year's conference, NHF met with global partners to discuss the priorities that connect us all: access to treatment, health equity, and of course, supporting the community members in underdeveloped and in war-torn areas like the Ukraine. In these conversations, it became clear that failure to act is no different than violence against a particular population. And we must move from awareness to action. And NHF is doing exactly this. NHF is moving to action through the development of the National Research Blueprint that I mentioned, which is set to launch next year. Know that by being here, you aren't only a community member, you're a subject matter expert. After all, who understands what it's like to live with an inheritable bleeding or blood disorder better than you, someone who has that lived experience? You notice that I'm referencing both inheritable bleeding and blood disorders because we've heard from subject matter experts like you all that people that are living with hemophilia, but also with von Willebrand disease and other rare and ultra rare bleeding and blood disorders, that you want to see yourself better represented by this organization. That's why in the last few years, NHF has begun a process to expand its mission and specifically to include inheritable bleeding and blood disorders by providing more education and resources to better inform translational research. The entire spectrum of care can be enhanced. The more we learn about each other, and that's why programs like Community Voices in Research are so important. By sharing your thoughts, your experiences, and your data, we can better inform the future of this entire community. I think that's really amazing, don't you? So you may ask, what's next for NHF? Well, NHF is embarking on a rebrand, set to launch at next year's conference. The goal of the rebrand matches our mission to better reflect all community members and experiences. Please stop by the NHF booth in the exhibit hall this week to record a short video message sharing your vision and hopes for the future of NHF. As we expand our mission, we must approach this through the lens of health equity. NHF wants to be a better partner to you, the subject matter expert, to reduce disease and care burdens, address your unmet needs and gaps in care, and importantly, improve health equity at all levels of the care continuum. There are important sessions on these topics over the next few days, and I hope that you'll take advantage of them. NHF will continue to fight for access to affordable and safe care, but we need your help as advocates. Your voice is incredibly important in making a difference, removing barriers to care and improving health equity. By working together, we can all improve our community's health and well-being. Throughout this week, there are also several sessions on the very hot topic of gene therapy. But as a physician, I know as well as you do that gene therapy is not just a buzzword. It's a real and impactful and potentially life-changing decision for a subject matter expert and their family. As gene therapy soon becomes a reality for this community, know that NHF is using advocacy tools like the FDA citizen petition to ensure that gene therapy is safe and effective. The intent of the petition was to ensure that safety and well-being of anyone who chooses to receive a gene therapy product does so with the knowledge to make a truly informed decision and with the security that safety is of the utmost importance. NHF is aware of concerns and challenges that have faced gene therapy trials and patients in other disease states that are not hemophilia, or even similar disorders. We're hopeful that these difficulties won't impact our community, but we will continue to explore the promising yet sometimes difficult realities of gene therapy this week and beyond. Recently, you may have heard of 2 deaths of young children treated with a product called Zolgensma, a novel adeno-associated virus gene therapy medicine that was approved by the FDA in 2019 to treat a severe and fatal neuromuscular disease, spinal muscular atrophy, for which I point out that there is no effective treatment available aside from this gene therapy product now. These deaths follow other cases of transient drug-induced liver failure related to gene therapy products. Another similarly fatal disease, X-linked myotubular myopathy, another very rare genetic neuromuscular disorder, has seen 4 deaths of young boys also due to liver complications after gene therapy treatment. While I understand that SMA and X-linked myotubular myopathy are not hemophilia, and the vectors, the transport vehicles that were used are not the same, these diseases have no therapeutic alternatives, making the risk-benefit assessment very, very different than in hemophilia. Thankfully, For hemophilia A and B, excellent alternative treatment options exist, which have been proven to result in a normal or near normal lifespan and excellent quality of life. Please consider all the facts and make a truly informed decision when deciding on gene therapy. And remember that only you can decide if gene therapy or any other alternative treatment to what you're doing right now is right for you. I encourage you all to practice what's termed shared decision making. That means having a thorough and in-depth conversation with your medical team, at the HTC, with your family. Consider the risks, the benefits, and the alternatives of any new treatment. One of the common concerns with gene therapy for many people is the potential cost of the treatment. NHF's commitment to health equity includes ensuring that care is first affordable and accessible to all. You can help with this as well. Right now, I'd like everybody to take their phone out. Usually we don't do this during a session. Take your phone out, and I'd like you to text BLOOD, B-L-O-O-D, to 52886. You'll receive a link to contact your elected officials with information about a very important legislative action, H.R. 5801. That's the Help Copays Act, which will eliminate harmful barriers to care that increase expenses. Again, that's BLOOD to 52886. I'd like to see everybody who has their hand up that's doing this right now. Please send this text. It's critically important. Improving health equity and advocacy would not be possible without the many amazing healthcare providers and treatment centers in our community. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, hemophilia treatment centers and medical professionals work tirelessly to keep our community safe, informed, and moving forward. If you're a healthcare professional, please stand up, or if you're online, raise your hand in the virtual platform. I'd like everyone to join me in a round of applause for our healthcare professionals, for their continued compassion, care. Again, thank you all for being here in Houston for some Texas-friendly hospitality and for joining us online. Now, it's really exciting because our keynote speaker, J.R. Martinez, an author, actor, and activist, will deliver some inspiring words. But first, I want you to enjoy this brief video before J.R. takes the stage. Thank you.